Hi and welcome to March's Copic Club. This is Creative Fugo Wonder Woman, and I'm just like so geeked to be here this month. February has been cold here in Michigan, and our prayers are going out to all those in our fellow members in Texas. I know that it's been a rough month, so I think we're all ready to do a little creating, aren't you? Or don't you? I want to tell you, at first when I got this stamp set, I didn't bring the whole stamp set, but I can show you the stamp, the main stamp this is from Picket Fence. It's called Early Tulips Bouquet, and I was intimidated, you guys. This is huge. But the more I started working with this stamp, the more fun I had. And I just started creating cards, and I just couldn't, it was amazing, awesome. I just couldn't stand it. Just so many options. I mean, tulips come in all colors. So really, it doesn't matter what markers you have this month. I'm going to show you the technique, where to color light and dark, and then you choose what really works for you guys. I don't want this to be a huge expense where you have to feel like you have to go out and buy all of the markers. That's a lot. There are, after all, 358 colors with Copic, and I just don't want that to become a burden. I want this to be fun and relaxing, and I want us to have a good time. So these are some of the cards I did with our Copics, and in our idea sheet, I've gone ahead and I have given you all of the colors that I used for each card, okay? So this month in the instructions, we're going to do the basic pink. It's the R81, 83, and 85. So it's the roses, a rose pink, a rose mist, and a rose red. I think you'll really find that you're going to enjoy these colors. These are some pinks that I use most often. I love the way they blend, and it's a beautiful, makes for a beautiful card. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to talk a ton. I did give you guys the link for the stamp set if you're interested. There are a bunch of sayings that come with it. Let's see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, a dozen different sayings. And as you look at the cards that I made, they will be available on the Creative Fugo Wonder Woman and also on my page, www.janmckee.com. So you'll find them there also in the gallery that I'm putting up. And you'll see I used a bunch of different sayings because I ended up making 6 cards this month. I know I usually only give you guys 2 different ideas on the idea sheet, but I was just having so much fun with this stamp and all the different colors that I could use with it that I just kept going and I couldn't stop. So let's get started. We're going to start with our R81, the rose pink, and we're going to just lay down a layer on all of the tulips and just give them a nice base. So you'll notice on some of the other card ideas that I give you, I went ahead and I used different colors. So you can just choose whichever 2 tulips. If you want to use 3 colors, if you want to do 2 different colored tulips, you can do 3, or if you want them all different colors, it doesn't matter, because that's the beauty of tulips. They come in so many varieties of beautiful colors. I just really recommend that you stick with a natural color blending family. So you would take like the R81, 83, and 85. That is a natural blending family. Remember, we talked about that in Copic 101. So it doesn't matter what color you go with. as long as you were sticking with the natural color blending. Just a few, and I say that and then to turn around and tell you on one of the, so generally that would be the look that you're going to get here. However, let's do this. However, remember, there's no set guidelines or rules. There's only guidelines for Copic. And so with tulips, a lot of times, one of my favorite color tulips is when there's a undertone of yellows, and then they come in and the tips have like a red or a orange coral. That is my favorite tulip. So in the idea sheet, I did go ahead and give you a sample. And that is going to obviously include not a natural blending family, because I started with a yellow and then came in with, I think, reds. So on that, let me cheat over here, look real quick. Yeah, I did a yellow, red, and then come in with a red. But what you will notice is the second number. So for this one is R81. So even though I did a YR and a R, the first number, I'm sorry, not the second, but the first number is the same. So I did a YR12, an R14, and an R17, so that the saturation will be the same. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you guys. And I want you to learn to just start playing with your markers and being a little adventurous. So that's what this month is really all about, is adding a little adventure to your Copics. So next we're going to go to R83, and then we're going to really follow the stamp. The artist here has done a great job of giving us these little hash marks or distress marks. I don't know what you really want to call them, but that's going to show you where the low lights and the highlights are on your stamp. So what we're going to do is take our middle color and we're going to color around that area, and then leaving the highlighted area at the tips. So anyhow, I hope everybody is doing well. I've had a lot of fun being able to reach out and talk to some of our members this last month. That was fun. And I hope to have you guys join me on the Creative Frugal Wonder Woman Facebook page. I have some new stuff coming out that I'm going to be talking about hopefully this weekend. So hopefully by the time you guys get this video, you will be able to jump onto the Creative Frugal Wonder Woman Facebook page and also our website and see what is coming. I'm super excited. So you can see I'm just really using those little stress marks that they've added onto the stamp, and I'm being generous in going around them, because I want to remain this to be a highlighted area. So wherever there's not a mark, I want that to be a highlighted area. So I don't want to add more color there until the very last step, but I want to add some more dimension to our tulips. Like this one here, there's a lot of dark. We're probably going to just do that whole one dark there, but leave some on the outside of that petal, leave some highlighted. Because remember, we're going to come back in with a third, even darker color and really hit those marks. So is everybody ready for spring? I know I am. We've had some beautiful weather this week. It's been 45 3 days, which is huge because it was like 0 for, it seemed like 2 weeks, I think. And everything was just so cold. So 45 degrees is amazing. Our snow is starting to melt, and we're seeing a little bit of grass here and there, which also creates more driving issues and ice, and so we do have to be careful still, but it's nice to see the sunshine, that's for sure. So okay, we finished with our 83, and now we're going to come with our darkest of this blending family. Oh, my cat. With our 85. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to hit these hash marks, okay? And when we blend, it's going to bring this color, it's going to blend it in, and it's just, oh, they're so beautiful. I love it. Yeah, this stamp set was, it was intimidating, but man, the more I've done it, the more fun it has become. And as you can see by all the cards I've made this month, I kind of went overboard, if that's possible, in making cards. My daughter-in-law, one of my daughter-in-law's birthdays was this last Wednesday. So, and she loves purple. So I'm going to be making her a purple tulip card. And then my other daughter-in-law, her birthday is next week. So I will be, and she loves her gardens, just loves. So I'm going to be making her a card also. Excuse my phone. So I know that they're going to love these cards. And this is there isn't actually a birthday sentiment in the stamp set, but I have lots of birthday sentiments that I will use. This one is really cool. There's a lot of encouraging stamp phrases in with it, and get well, I hope you're feeling, know that I care. Just, it's a nice set, nice versatile set. Okay, so now we've finished with our highlights, lowlights, and the different colors. So we're going to come back with our 81 and just blend everything. So this is a really fast card when you're doing all the same color. And then, like I said, you can come in and use the idea sheet if you want. If you don't have the R81 through 85, use what colors you do have, and you can make them different, or just very versatile. Love this set. And I have put the link to this set in your newsletter, so if you would like to purchase it, I appreciate you using my link so that I get credit for that. That is one of the ways I'm creating an income for our family, so I appreciate that, you supporting my efforts here. And if you guys are enjoying this and you have a friend that is also into Copics, or maybe they're not into Copics but they like watercoloring, I have my watercolor kit, club too, which I know some of you are in both. So you're going to get 6 different ways to color this stamp set this month. That's just, I'm excited about that. Okay, so our tulips are done. And look at that beautiful depth and just the highlights. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, so now we're going to go on to the leaves. And we're going to start with YG11. This was probably, I think this was my first natural blending green family that I ever bought. And I just love this family of green. I do use it a lot. My other one I used on the slimline card, and that was a lot of fun too, the darker, because I'm very much into the natural, or the earthy tones. So I think that one is like G90s, I think is what I used on that. So we're going to just go ahead and put a base on all of the leaves. This gets a little tricky down here as to, I mean, here's a stem, but this leaf gets a little tricky. I went ahead and just added that. And then this part is this leaf here. So I left that open for some blue sky if you want. This was also a really neat stamp, very easy to fussy cut. Wasn't bad at all. So as you can see on my slimline card, I did fussy cut it. It's funny, every time I say fussy cut, I just chuckle. You know, I've been out of the teaching mode, and I really, the last, gosh, 7 years since I closed my store, I haven't gotten to do a lot of, you know, videos and see the new product and everything. And so now it just cracks me up that that's a new term that they use, basically, is fussy cut. When you cut in, instead of using a die cut, you're actually using scissors to cut all of this out. This stamp set unfortunately does not have a die with it, but it is fairly easy to fussy cut, so that's okay with me. Next, we're going to use YG13. This is chartreuse, and the same way we did with the tulips, we're going to do with the leaves. Leave a little highlight, and then just come down with this medium. Leave just a little bit of the highlight, and see, it's easier to sometimes turn your paper instead of trying to get in all those areas. So I don't mind flipping my paper around. Now for this one, this is like, this leaf has kind of been folded, so I will go ahead and I take the dark, or the medium, the chartreuse, the YG13, and I do that whole section. Oops, I went a little bit out of line. Luckily I have my 0. All right, so now we're going to take YG17 and hit the lines, add a little bit of depth. Let's do it this way. I seem to have my paper all which way. So I hope this is our, well, some of you, this might be your second month, maybe it's your first month, but I hope that you're really getting to enjoy the Copics and getting more comfortable. Not so, maybe some people were intimidated. There you go. Oh, I apologize. I forgot to put my electronics on silence. Okay, so now we're coming back with the YG11, and we're going to blend the whole, all the leaves and stems. I hope you guys will jump over and watch. I might put it in my blog also. I probably will. I went ahead and my daughter and I, Allie, went up to a Cherry on Top, and they had some of the, I forget, the tri-blend, the alcohol from Knorr. It's I know that a lot of the people that did the Copic 101 from the Great Lakes Scrapbook event, they use those, and I had never used them, and they had them on sale in the lobby there. So I told Allie, I said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and grab one because I need to know, you know, what this is like, and this might be a viable option to be able to, maybe I can learn how to teach that one too, for people that are using them. At least I'll know a little bit more about how they work. So I got them, and I was so disappointed. I got a green one, which was kind of this color, and it has the 3 greens. I'll do a blog post, like I said, but I was so disappointed anyhow, because my ink that I stamped with, Memento, which I use for all my Copic, it bled using the other one, so that was disappointing. All right, look at how simple that was, you guys. I mean, how many minutes were we? Not very many. 10-15 minutes. Of course, this is just the basic. Now you want to do some more detail with it, but look at what you can do. on this one, I went ahead and added, I think you guys can see that. See where I added some dimension. You can use, Tim Holtz has a product. There's lots of different products out there. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of it, but it's like a epoxy or just adds dimension and adds some more depth. I love that. Okay, this is the one that I fussy cut. So I went ahead, this stamp this part of the stamp I put flat onto my card, and this one I popped up. That was just really pretty. Added my little tags down there. This one I went ahead and did the purples. Love this card. And then I added Catherine Pooler's Designs Tinseltown Sequin Mix. And for you guys, for this month, for your little extra gift that I do with our Copic Club, I am sending you some. So watch your kit. You'll have a little Ziploc baggie with your sequins in there from Catherine Pooler that you can add to your card. So, and then again, you'll get your instructions, your idea sheet, and your newsletter. I hope you guys have enjoyed this month's. I know that I didn't do a lot of colors per se. I gave you lots of ideas. Again, I wanted you to not be intimidated by a large stamp and think that you have to buy just a ton of markers every month. Use what you have, but we did this one with only using 6 markers. So I hope you guys have a blessed month in March, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye now.